In a world
Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Mark Lynn. Namaskar. Coming up in the next hour. Counting of votes underway in 4 Indian states. Trends show advantage BJP in 3, with consolidated leads in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. It's ahead in Chhattisgarh too. 3 people killed and several injured as an explosion rocks a Catholic mass in the southern Philippines this morning. United States and China announced measures to address methane emissions at COP28 in Dubai. Over 110 nations pledged to triple renewable energy capacity by 2030. Over 700 flights cancelled, buses and train services suspended in Germany's Munich because of snowfall. Now let's bring you up to date on the trends and results of the assembly elections to 4 states. Counting of votes is underway. This is for the assembly elections in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan and Telangana. And polling for these states was held last month along with Mizoram. Counting of votes, according to the latest trends, they show that the BJP is leading in 3 of the states, the Indian states of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. In Chhattisgarh, voting was held in 2 phases, if we recall, the 7th and the 17th of November. In Madhya Pradesh, it was held in a single phase, that was on the 17th of November. And Rajasthan had voted on the 25th of November in a single phase. Telangana was the last to vote. It voted on the 30th of November in a single phase. So let's get you some reactions now that are pouring in about from the BJP's top brass with regard to they seem to be very happy about the trends that are showing the BJP is well ahead in at least 3 of the states. And in fact, the Railway Minister, Ashwini Vaishnav, he said that in Madhya Pradesh, the people have blessed the Bharatiya Janata Party with a resounding mandate as a result of good work done in the past 18 years.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी की बहुत ही प्रचंड विजय हुई है। इसकी हमें पूरी उम्मीद थी, पूरा विश्वास था कि मध्य प्रदेश के जन जन के मन में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के प्रति जो विश्वास है, वो विश्वास आज के चुनावों में परिलक्षित होता है। आप सब जानते हैं, एमपी के मन में मोदी है, मोदी के मन में एमपी है। जिस तरह से प्रदेश में सरकार चली, 18 वर्षों में अच्छा काम हुआ, जितना अच्छा काम माननीय शिवराज जी ने किया, जितना अच्छा काम डबल इंजन की सरकार ने किया, जितना अच्छा काम संगठन ने किया, उसका आशीर्वाद आज मध्य प्रदेश की जनता ने दिया।
As the BJP leads in Madhya Pradesh, the Indian minister and the party leader, Jyotiraditya Scindia, is confident that the BJP is going to form the government with a huge majority.
हमारी डबल इंजन की सरकार प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में, मध्य प्रदेश में शिवराज सिंह जी के नेतृत्व में जो जन कल्याण की योजनाएं हैं, जो गरीब उत्थान की योजनाएं हैं, सेवा और सुशासन की जो हमारी सरकार है, जनता का पूर्ण आशीर्वाद भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ रहेगा। मुझे पूर्ण विश्वास है कि जनता का आशीर्वाद भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ रहेगा और समूचे मध्य प्रदेश की जनता को मैं नमन करता हूं और अभी रुझान आ रहे हैं, अंतिम नतीजे तक हम लोग इंतजार करें।
And the incumbent Chief Minister, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, said that the double-engine government has properly implemented the schemes of the central government and the schemes that were formed for the state have touched the people's hearts.
हमारे प्रधानमंत्री श्रीमान नरेंद्र मोदी जी एमपी के मन में है और मोदी जी के मन में भी एमपी है। उनके प्रति असीम श्रद्धा और अगाध विश्वास है। उन्होंने जो यहाँ सभाएं की, जनता से अपील की, वो जनता के दिल को छू गई और उसी के कारण ये परिणाम जो अभी रुझान आ रहे हैं, ये प्रमुख कारण हैं।
Well, reacting to the results of the assembly elections in 2023, the BJP MP, Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, said that the politics of the country is becoming Modified.
चुनाव परिणाम अब क्रमशः उस दिशा की तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं जहां स्थिति अंतिम निर्णयात्मक तस्वीर को दिखाती जा रही है और तस्वीर ये उभर के सामने आ रही है कि मध्य प्रदेश, राजस्थान और छत्तीसगढ़ में भारतीय जनता पार्टी मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में शानदार विजय की तरफ आगे बढ़ रही है। मध्य प्रदेश में हो सकता है कि हम कीर्तिमान या प्रचंड बहुमत बनाने की स्थिति में आ जाएं, तो मैं कह सकता हूं, नाउ दिस शोज दैट द पॉलिटिक्स ऑफ द कंट्री इज बिकमिंग मोडिफाइड, MODIFIED। मेरा मानना है अब ये स्पष्ट हो गया है कि इस देश में गारंटी एक ही है, मोदी की गारंटी, और बाकी सब ढपोर शंख है।
Well, the Madhya Pradesh State Home Minister, the BJP candidate from Datia, Narottam Mishra, also said that the BJP is winning big in the state.
125 से 150 सीटें भारतीय जनता पार्टी जीतेगी और अकेला मध्य प्रदेश नहीं, राजस्थान भी, छत्तीसगढ़ भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी माननीय मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में सरकार बनाएगी। बिल्कुल, मैंने पहले ही कहा था 2/3 बहुमत की तरफ हम जाएंगे। आप देख लें, आ रहे हैं।
The former Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Raman Singh, he said that the people have rejected the Congress and the BJP is going to form the government with a majority.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी आगे है राजस्थान में और तीनों जगह स्पष्ट बहुमत के साथ सरकार बनेगी और निश्चित रूप से आज के तारीख में बड़ी बड़ी बात करने वाले, ठीक है, नतीजा क्या निकलेगा, पर भूपेश जी का नतीजा दिख रहा है कि 2 राउंड में पीछे चल रहे हैं। इसका मतलब ये है कि जनता ने उनके सारे मंत्रियों को नकारा है, पूरी सरकार को रिजेक्ट किया है और भारतीय जनता पार्टी को पूरा का पूरा आशीर्वाद और समर्थन दिया है।
And the Chhattisgarh BJP President Arun Sao has said that the people are giving their blessings to the BJP.
छत्तीसगढ़ की जनता भारतीय जनता पार्टी को आशीर्वाद देने वाली है। जिस प्रकार से पूरे प्रदेश में भ्रमण करने के बाद जो हमें विश्वास हुआ, उसके आधार पर मैं कह सकता हूं कि छत्तीसगढ़ में पूर्ण बहुमत से भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनने वाली है।
The BJP leader Shazia Ilmi said that her party is very confident that the BJP is going to form the government in at least 3 states.
हमें पूरा यकीन है कि 3 राज्यों में हमारी सरकार बन रही है और हम बहुत ही अच्छी बढ़त देखेंगे। एक बड़े फोर्स के तौर पर तेलंगाना में भारतीय जनता पार्टी उभरेगी, लेकिन जहां तक बात है राजस्थान की, मध्य प्रदेश की और छत्तीसगढ़ की, हमें लगता है हमारा प्रदर्शन बहुत ही शानदार रहेगा और बहुत ही अच्छी और स्पष्ट जीत भारतीय जनता पार्टी की होगी। कमल ही खिलेगा वहां पे इन तीनों राज्यों में।
The Union Minister and BJP leader Gajendra Singh Shekhawat said that the BJP is going to win with a huge majority in Rajasthan.
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी इस चुनाव में प्रचंड बहुमत के साथ जीतेगी। मैं पहले दिन से आप सबसे कह रहा था, अभी तो और इंतज़ार करिए। ये तय मानिए कि जादूगर का जादू ख़त्म हो गया है, तिलिस्म टूट गया है और राजस्थान की जनता ने हकीकत पर वोट किया।
The BJP leader Gaurav Bhatia has said that that the people are supporting the Bharatiya Janata Party. He said that women, youth and farmers need to be empowered in the country.
जनता का आशीर्वाद भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ है, ये स्पष्ट हो गया है। और भारतीय राजनीति में हिमालय की चोटी अगर कोई है तो वो श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी हैं। और ये कहना गलत नहीं होगा, एक तरफ हिमालय की चोटी और दूसरी तरफ कांग्रेस की नीयत है खोटी, इसीलिए उन्हें नकारा जा रहा है। एक बड़ा संदेश और जा रहा है, वो बड़ा संदेश ये है कि श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी जोड़ने की राजनीति करते हैं। अभी उन्होंने एक बात कही थी कि देश में सबसे बड़ी जाति जिसका सशक्तिकरण करना है वो है महिला, युवा, किसान और गरीब। और दूसरी तरफ नकारात्मक कांग्रेस जो देश को बांटने का काम करती है, उनके लिए भी एक करारा जवाब है। और इतना ही कहूँगा, कहाँ पड़े हो चक्कर में, कोई नहीं है टक्कर में।
And correspondent Vishal Barrister is now joining us from Jaipur with the latest on the situation in Rajasthan. Well, Vishal, the Bharatiya Janata Party is looking like a clear winner here, because even in the leads, the margins are quite large, over 10,000 to 15,000 votes. So unlikely that they would be crossed. So in this case, I mean, what is the process now? The BJP thinking about government formation, about who's going to be the chief minister, all that already happening?
Well, Mark, when we talk about BJP, it's a different party, and a party with a difference means that all the decisions are taken by the top brass. And when we talk about the top brass, it is the chief prime minister, I beg your pardon. And the people of the state have also voted on in his name, and he said that I'm giving you a guarantee Modi ki hai, I'm giving you the guarantee of my name. And when it comes to BJP, they have not announced the chief ministerial candidate, though Vasundhara Raje met the governor 2 days back. She also went and worshipped at the Ganesh temple. But let me tell you that it is a long way to go, and it would be only the Prime Minister and the Home Minister, the two of them would be deciding who's going to be the Chief Minister. There's a buzz, but that not necessarily all those who have won would be the candidate, but somebody who is the choice of the Prime Minister could also be made the Chief Minister. So it is a $1 million question, but as of now, you can hear the music going on, the loud music. That is why I'm standing far from the BJP headquarters. There's quite a frenzy over there. People are dancing, singing. There's a DJ system there, and also the drums, they are also beating very loudly. So who's going to be the chief minister? It is a very interesting question. And BJP future course of action and the decision on the chief minister would also be deciding the fate of the party in Rajasthan, because Vasundhara Raje is very keen to be the chief minister of the state for the third time, but her name has not been announced by the party as the chief ministerial candidate, and also she was not looked upon as the person who would be leading the party into the election. It was all through Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Indeed, and we look at the Congress, Vishal. Let's try and look at the Congress party, and we know that Mr. Gehlot has led the party in this election. The Congress has not had its house in order in a sense. There was infighting within the party. Now that they are on the losing side, what is, I mean, is this a sign that perhaps, there would be some churning in the party?
Well, Mark, the question is that who's going to lead the party, whether in opposition or in power, was the basic question that wasn't answered either by the party high command, and it was always asked by the from the chief minister, and he kept on saying that I'm the choice of Sonia Gandhi. Sachin Pilot tried to duck the question and said that, well, let's say our first aim is to win the election. So both were vying for the position of the chief minister. In fact, that is the basic difference between the two parties, and the house wasn't in order, and people of the state were also looking at it. Even if the Congress had won the state, it would have been a very difficult situation for the Congress party, because Ashok Gehlot was in no mood to leave the chair vacant for Sachin Pilot, who was desperate to become the chief minister. In fact, he had said last time also that it was under his leadership that Congress came to power in Rajasthan, and there was a tug of war, and both were vying for the same position. So the question has not been answered yet, and that is the basic difference. And another thing is, while both persons were fighting for the same position, the organization suffered, and it is the cadre that was not built, and BJP kept on building its cadre. They have the strong support of RSS, and along with that, their cadre, they have Panna Pramukh. Just imagine a page where you have the names of the voters. One page has one leader. That is the strength of BJP, and it percolates to the level of one page, not even one locality, but one lane. So then you go to the locality, and then to the constituency, and then to the state.
Okay, we also have with us Dibyendu Mandal, who's joining us from Delhi, from the BJP headquarters there. Dibyendu, so what's the big plan then like? First of all, of course, the questions that have been put to our correspondents who are on the field in these different states where the BJP is ahead as to who's going to lead them, who's lead in government formation. But for the moment, at least, what are the celebrations like in the BJP headquarters?
Well, Mark, you know, the celebration would perhaps begin later in the day today here at the BJP headquarters. The building right next to the BJP headquarters is called the BJP Annexi, where the Prime Minister is expected to come later in the evening today. Along with him, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, as well as BJP National President JP Nadda will be present at that particular ceremony, where the Prime Minister is expected to address all the supporters who will be gathering here from not just the states that went to polls and whose results are being declared today, but also from different parts of Delhi. They will be coming here by late in the afternoon, when the Prime Minister will be expected to arrive and perhaps speak to the workers here. Of course, you know, as part of the celebration, the BJP has already started to distribute laddus, which is, of course, a symbol of victory here in India. So sweets are already have started to be distributed amongst the workers here at the BJP headquarters, with the senior leaders of the BJP, including union ministers as well as former union ministers, have started to come in here. They will be talking to the media here. They have been talking to the media here since morning. And you know, as the results trickle in, the mood, the sensation here at the BJP headquarters is starting to grow. But you'll see more and more of workers coming here by late afternoon, when the Prime Minister's schedule for visiting here is this evening, and that is around that time when you'll see more and more people coming in to see the Prime Minister and to hear him out on what he would address to the leaders, to the party workers. Because remember, this is a prelude to the 2024 general elections, which is in fact much more important.
Yes, we'll be back. We'll come back to you, Dibyendu, but for the moment we have with us Ravi Dhiman, also joining us from Chhattisgarh, from Raipur. Well, Ravi, you know, it was a neck-and-neck contest for a long period of time, but now the BJP is definitely way ahead, almost 20 seats ahead, in fact, of the Congress. So it's looking like the BJP is running away with it. What, you know, led to this? Because even the pollsters, the exit pollsters, seem to have got it wrong.
They seem to have missed the link entirely, Mark. The exit polls and the predictions have fallen flat here. As far as Chhattisgarh is concerned, the BJP seems to have run away with the results here in Chhattisgarh, proving that anti-incumbency is very much in the air in Chhattisgarh. People are talking about the schemes floated by Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel and the Congress government that might have tilted the scales in favor of the Congress party when the exit polls were announced. But that seems to be not the case, really. Maybe the manifesto of BJP was taken more seriously by the voters, wherein they promised 500 rupees subsidy for the LPG and many other schemes, especially targeting the women section of the population. They also promised many things for the youth, and these seem to have struck a chord with the youth, with the students and with the women voters in Chhattisgarh. That has finally come around. Interestingly, the voting percentage is almost the same as it was the last time, around 76.8%. 2008 it was in 2018, this time around it was 76.31, but that didn't seem to deter the women voters who've come out in large numbers, who have voted more than men in 50 constituencies out of 90. That is, more than 50% of the constituencies had more women voters than men voters. And these interesting statistics will become absolutely clear as the results come, the analysis come, and then perhaps we would be able to find out what really went in favor of the BJP. But the thing is that the BJP workers are ecstatic at the BJP headquarters here in Raipur. The celebrations have already begun. And this is what they say is that maybe Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan gave a reason for BJP workers to celebrate in Delhi. The victory in, or the trends in Chhattisgarh has really made it a triple treat for the party in these elections. And incidentally, the party workers and the leaders now are saying that they would like to maintain this momentum going ahead into 2024.
Indeed, and clearly we can see that the BJP has moved ahead in Chhattisgarh. 46% of the vote share actually currently with the BJP as counting is going on, and just 41% with Congress. Earlier it was more or less on an even key. Going back again to Vishal Barrister, who's joining us from Jaipur. Vishal, when we look at the larger picture, I mean, one needs to also look at this concept of a double-engine sarkar, and the manner in which the national government or the government at the center also plays a role in the state government elections. This concept seems to be, you know, though people say that the issues of the state election are totally different, but the factor is that the Prime Minister plays a significant role even in the state elections.
Well, yes, Mark, you cannot deny that when you have a government there in Delhi and at the state, then it becomes much more easier to put things together. Your projects get finalized and also completed much earlier, before time, not in time, but before time. So it becomes much easier for the state to function. You have a lot of funding also from the center, and then everything, you know, gets streamlined. But when we talk about Rajasthan, I've been traveling, as you rightly said, that I've been there for more than a month now, and I've seen that there were a lot of issues raised by the BJP, but the basic difference between the two parties was that one was a united team with a very strong captain who was assuring the people of all the benefits that a double-engine government could provide. On the other hand, you had a team with fragmented members. It was not a united force, and two men were, you know, fighting against each other. In fact, I would say that Congress got defeated because of self-goal in Rajasthan, and they could not compete with the united force of BJP. Mark?
Indeed. Let's turn once again to Ravi and analyze as well what is happening in Chhattisgarh, because in fact both the elections in Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh were similar. They were neck and neck races to start with, but then the BJP pulling ahead. In fact, in Rajasthan, the BJP has about 41% of the vote share currently to 39% by the Congress. And in Chhattisgarh, the BJP has about 46% of the vote share to 41% of the Congress. So clearly the BJP is consolidating and most likely to form the government in Chhattisgarh. So the question then comes to mind, Ravi, is, you know, who's going to form the government? Who's going to lead it?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, Mark. Who will be the leader of the House in Chhattisgarh? Most of the people are now concentrating on congratulating each other, but hectic parleys will now begin within the party, amongst the party leaders, amongst the central observers, to select the leader of the House. That shouldn't be much of a problem, but it will take some time for them to finalize the leader of the House, who will be the chief ministerial candidate to lead the BJP in Chhattisgarh. And obviously the senior leaders from Delhi are here in Chhattisgarh, the senior leaders of Chhattisgarh who have led the party in these elections. We'll decide on the name. But for now, if we focus again on the reasons that you asked, Mark, I was just referring to the notes, my notes here. Many of the schemes announced in the manifesto of BJP have also might have struck a chord with the women voters. They have promised women voters, married women, all the married women in the state, stipend, an allowance of 12,000 rupees per annum. That is called the Methane Mahatvakanshi Yojana. That has struck a chord there, and once again the central schemes have come to play a big part here, because the BJP announced then the Pradhan Mantri Awas Deen Dayal Upadhyay Krishi Mazdoor Yojana will be launched, and the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, where they'll be giving not only funds but each house will have a tap water. And going by the the performance of deliverance by the central government or by the state governments where these schemes were launched, I think they also struck a chord with the voters, and they said that the LPG cylinder, it's an interesting comparison with the manifestos of both the parties. The BJP said that we'll provide the LPG cylinder to women at 500 rupees, while Congress said that we will give a subsidy of 500 rupees. So the BJP cylinder seems to be much cheaper to the women here in Chhattisgarh, and many such things I think have struck a chord with the voters. Plus, I think that issues of corruption charges, allegations of corruption in the betting app scam, in the liquor scam, the coal scam, they also might have contributed to the loss of Congress and its decline in the vote percentage in the state.
Indeed, it's clearly a case of credibility of one party versus the credibility also and the leadership of the other. So let's, Dibyendu in fact is also back with us at the headquarters of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Dibyendu, it's, these elections have been looked at as a semi-final in a sense for the big one, as you were calling it, the general elections of 2024. In this line, I mean, the BJP, of course, is looking like it's way ahead in the race already. But from the point of view of the election results, I mean, how are the BJP leaders looking at this, looking ahead at the 2024 election?
Well, of course, this result will, of course, give a boost or more confidence to the BJP when they go into election mode just about a month and a half from now. So, of course, BJP is joyous. They are celebrating this moment because, remember, the exit polls had predicted a neck-to-neck fight in at least two of the states of Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, and many of the exit polls had given Congress a clear mandate in Chhattisgarh. Even I was talking to some BJP leaders here in the morning. Even they were surprised and taken aback by the result. In fact, by such the difference of the number of seats between the Congress and the BJP in Chhattisgarh, many of the leaders were taken aback because they were also not expecting that the BJP could perhaps win Chhattisgarh or win with such a huge difference of seats between the Congress and the BJP. But having said this, this has given confidence to the BJP. The BJP is taking as a fact that, the popularity of Prime Minister Narendra Modi still remains intact, not just in fact, more in the Hindi heartland, because remember all the three seats, in fact, 3 states where the BJP won today is perhaps winning today is part of the Hindi heartland. So here, people, both party workers as well as leaders are, certain that the popularity of Prime Minister Narendra Modi still remains intact. His schemes, especially with respect to the women, have percolated well down to the voters, and they have voted in favor of the BJP. But remember, in all the states, the BJP fought without a clear chief ministerial candidate, and it was fought under both the collective leadership as well as the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So if something has to go down, some lesson has to be learned from this election, is that that the popularity of Prime Minister, the face of Prime Minister Narendra Modi still remains very, very popular amongst the voters. And this is what, many of the BJP leaders, in fact, all of the BJP leaders are telling here that, 2024 will now become much easier. But having said this, there are these southern Indian states where the BJP have been trying to get into, and in fact, BJP will work further into more into gaining their space in the southern Indian states, especially in states like Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Kerala. But remember, the BJP's vote share in Telangana has increased, and this is something that has given confidence to the BJP. I was speaking to a BJP leader who told me that, you wait and watch for Telangana and Andhra Pradesh for 2024 general election. Right. The BJP might not get all the seats, but the BJP is confident that they will be getting significant number of seats from these states. So therefore, this as a prelude to the 2024 elections, general elections, brings out many, many talking points from this election.
Okay, let's go across once again to Vishal Barrister, who's in Jaipur. Vishal, the state of Rajasthan has constantly voted for change, and it continues to do that this time round. But if one looks at history, or one can see clearly that, whenever the BJP has come to power, it's come with quite a decisive mandate. When the Congress has come to power, it has not been as strong a mandate. Would you say that, the BJP seems to be, gaining ground for a more, decisive performance and probably to break that, the trend of changing governments every 5 years? I'm talking about, if you take a historical analysis.
Well, Mark, if you look at the convention, it has always been between Congress and BJP. But Congress, what it did way back 20 years back, they had 150 plus seats. Bharat Singh Shekhawat had to go, and Ashok Gehlot became the chief minister. But after that, Congress has never been that strong. Even in the last election, there were few seats and a very less margin between the two parties that separated Congress and the BJP. And Congress barely managing to form a government, and then it went into slugfest between Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot. But as far as the BJP goes, it has been a very clear mandate. The only problem with the BJP where it has lost has been the factor of Vasudhara Raje. Now, the cadre of BJP, especially supported by the RSS, they are not quite supportive of Vasudhara Raje, or not very keen on his name. And that is the reason that BJP lost last time, because I've been speaking to the cadre of BJP. In fact, this time also, though BJP is all set to form a government, but here, even at the BJP headquarters in Jaipur, nobody is talking about Vasudhara Raje. I'm reminded of the great victory of BJP when Vasudhara Raje came up on the terrace of the BJP office that secured 160 seats out of 200, and she waved at the crowd. But that was also because of the Modi factor. Remember, 2014 Prime Minister Modi became the Prime Minister of the country, and since then he has ruled the country from north to south. And that is the basic factor between the BJP and Congress. They do not have a match to this man, and to his vision, to his oratory, to his star attraction that he has, and the way he draws the crowd. It is very popular, especially in the heartland, the way he goes and addresses them. And even if he's campaigning in down south, he would also try and speak the regional language and greet them in the regional language. So these are the things that Narendra Modi is attracting in the to the crowd, and that is the basic difference. You do not have a clear leader in the state, but
Clearly, yes.
Just let me finish. It is not only about the clear leadership as far as state is concerned, but it is the clear leadership at the center which is the deciding factor.
Indeed. So, Vishal, making the point, of course, that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has made the difference ever since he's been in power at the center and ever since he's been in national politics to that extent. Ravi, if I can come to you, and you have analyzed politics for a long period of time. So if you look at this as the main election or the last election, some people call it the semi-final before the general election of 2024, we are seeing that the southern states seem to be voting in a particular pattern, and the Hindi heartland seems to be consolidating behind the BJP. Do you see, if we have to look at what's happening with the opposition and the India alliance, the Congress's poor performance in the Hindi heartland is going to dent the confidence of the India alliance, or is it going to strengthen, let's say, the regional players?
Well, that's true, Mark. The bargaining power of Congress party will be considerably diminished after these results. Remember, after the exit polls were announced, it was being said, there were articles written about it. The experts were saying that the Congress party's bargaining power, bargaining chips will become much stronger in the India alliance, and party will bargain for a major chunk of seats when the tally for 2024 general elections is announced. But that doesn't seem to be the case so far as the results of these elections are concerned. The momentum clearly has been taken away by the BJP, and if we see the rumblings within the India alliance and the statements given by the leaders vis-a-vis other leaders of the India alliance, particularly in Madhya Pradesh, when Samajwadi Party leaders were, they waited for more than 4 hours for Kamal Nath to show up and finalize the seat sharing arrangements, and that didn't actually fructify. So all these things will now come in the India alliance meeting which will happen. The Congress party and its leadership will go into that meeting with a much diminished aura and a much diminished bargaining power as they would have really wanted to, but their bargaining power will go down a lot. And as far as the BJP is concerned, as you said, Mark, now the Hindi heartland, a major chunk of the Hindi heartland is now ruled by the BJP. They have wrested Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh from the Congress party. And this is also important because they have wrested the control of these states from Congress, and the momentum has swung in their favor. They've consolidated and retained Madhya Pradesh. So if you look at the Hindi heartland, the UP, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, they are all with the BJP. Going with all these states into 2024 will definitely, BJP and its leaders would definitely like to maintain this momentum with them and hit the ground running when 2024 elections are announced.
Okay, we leave it there. Thank you very much, Ravi Dhaman, Vishal Barristow, and Dibyendu Mandal for joining us and analyzing the election results as they are coming in. Still to come here on DD India News Hour. Israel wants security envelope, no Hamas on border after war. Russians ease attacks in eastern Ukraine. Kiev still may hold Mariinka. One dead after an assailant attacks passers-by in Paris.
Sponsored by IEPFA, Informed Investor, Empowered Investor, Smart Investor.
हाँ जी सुरेश जी, रिटायरमेंट के बाद जो प्रोविडेंट फंड आएगा उसका क्या करेंगे?
कुछ खास प्लान नहीं है, पड़ा रहेगा बैंक में, ब्याज आता रहेगा और क्या।
सुरेश जी, बैंक से कितना ब्याज आएगा? एक नई स्कीम बताता हूँ, उसमें पैसे लगा दो, साल भर में दुगने बल्कि चौगुना हो जाएगा। हाँ, बस कुछ नए मेंबर्स बनाने।
नहीं सुरेश जी, इन सब फालतू चक्करों में मत पड़िए कि नए मेंबर बनाना, रातों रात करोड़पति बनाना, ऐसे सपने दिखाने वाली स्कीम से बचकर रहें। आप लालच में आकर नहीं, समझदारी से निवेश करें। नए मेंबर बनाओ, वर्ल्ड टूर पे जाओ, कमीशन पाओ या उपहार घर ले जाओ। ऐसे सपने दिखाने वाली स्कीम से बचकर रहें। ऐसी स्कीम्स धोखा हो सकती हैं।
IEPF अथॉरिटी, कॉर्पोरेट कार्य मंत्रालय द्वारा जनहित में जारी।
Turning crisis into opportunity, transforming ideas into action, stories of real change, tales of sustainable solution.
This series is going to tell stories of such change makers.
Watch Change Makers on DD India. This program is sponsored by IEPFA, Informed Investor, Empowered Investor, Smart Investor.
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Mark Lynn. Now, Israelis have rallied in Tel Aviv on Saturday night, calling for an immediate ceasefire, in fact, immediate release of the remaining captives in Gaza. The 7-day truce, during which Hamas had released more than 100 hostages, collapsed on Friday, halting any further hostage releases and also an exchange of Palestinian prisoners who were held in Israeli jails. Now, the Israeli Prime Minister's senior advisor, Mark Regev, has said that Israel will seek a security envelope with special zones and arrangements that will prevent Hamas from being positioned on its border after the war in Gaza is over. More than 240 people, Israelis and foreign nationals, were abducted to Gaza on October 7 by Hamas terrorists. Residents of Tel Aviv demanded that their loved ones should be freed.
I would love for there to be a truce, but I'd love to see a 10-month-old home. I'd love to see his brother, a toddler, home. I'd love to see young women not used as sexual objects home. And then we can discuss a truce, because when you're actually letting terrorists go, in payment for these people, then if it's soldier for soldier, I get that. That's called a truce. This to me isn't a truce. A truce for me is an equal exchange. Babies, toddlers, and older women and men are not. And just everything that's been heard about the sexual abuse is just crazy. So there's a part of me that wants a truce, but I want these people home first, and then we can discuss a truce.
Well, Israel is facing growing U.S. calls to avoid casualties in its fight against Hamas. Militants in Gaza are speaking in Dubai. The Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, said that Israel had a right to defend itself, but international and humanitarian law should also be respected. The U.S. Defense Secretary, Lloyd Austin, deemed it a moral responsibility for Israel to protect civilians.
You see, in this kind of a fight, the center of gravity is the civilian population. And if you drive them into the arms of the enemy, you replace a tactical victory with a strategic defeat. So I have repeatedly made clear to Israel's leaders that protecting Palestinian civilians in Gaza is both a moral responsibility and a strategic imperative.
Well, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu responded to the U.S. comments on Saturday, saying that Israel was continuing to work in coordination with the U.S. and international organizations to define safe areas for Gaza civilians.
We determine safe areas in Gaza in coordination with international agencies and with our American friends. We determine safe areas to where the population knows it can evacuate. We did it in the north and we will do it elsewhere. And this is important because we have no desire to harm the population. We have a desire to avoid harming the population. We have a very strong desire to hurt Hamas.
The Israeli army has released a video on Saturday purported to show an alleged Hamas tunnel near a school in northern Gaza. Commandos were seen carrying out missions to neutralize infrastructure in what was said to be the area surrounding Jabalia in northern Gaza. The first aid trucks since the collapse of the Gaza truce entered through the Egyptian side of the Rafah crossing. Now, video footage was released by the Palestinian Red Crescent Society, and it appeared to show a line of trucks driving from the Egyptian side of the Rafah border. Two fuel tankers also, and 58 trucks went through the Egyptian side, heading to Abja for inspection. The trucks were said to contain food, water, relief assistance, medicines and medical supplies. Russia's military eased attacks on the beleaguered eastern Ukrainian town of Avdiivka. The place is called Avdiivka, and this happened on Saturday. Unofficial reports from the region suggested that they had failed to capture the devastated town of Marinka. This was to the southeast. Since mid-October, Russia has set its sights on seizing Avdiivka and its vast coking plant. Ukrainian military spokesperson Alexander Shutpun told the national television that Russia attacks this region. They have halved over the last 24 hours, largely as a result of heavy losses. The Ukrainian forces have focused on recapturing occupied villages in the east and the south of the. This is the counteroffensive that they've launched in June, and President Zelensky has acknowledged that these advances have been slower than they wanted. The onset of the winter in southern Germany has paralyzed long-distance air and rail traffic in Munich and in the Bavaria region. This is because of snowfall. Munich's main rail station was packed with stranded commuters after trains were cancelled. Hundreds of flights in and out of the German city of Munich were also cancelled after heavy snowfall, which left passengers stranded. Saturday's Bundesliga clash between Bayern Munich and the Union Berlin, that was also postponed because of the snowfall. According to the German Weather Service, 30 to 40 centimeters of fresh snow is expected in Bavaria in the next 24 hours. The snow was accompanied by icy conditions and numerous road accidents as well. In central Paris, one person died and another was injured after an assailant attacked passers-by near the Eiffel Tower. The suspect was on a French security services watch list and was also known for having a psychiatric disorder. So the French Interior Ministry, the minister there, Gérald Darmanin, said so, and the suspect was then chased by the police and attacked two other people with a hammer before being arrested. The police quickly arrested the 26-year-old French national using a taser stun gun. What's happened is that the French police have said that the man who died there was actually not French but German. The former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson is expected to issue an unreserved apology at the COVID. This is for his behavior during COVID. This is at the public inquiry that happened following that incident. The public inquiry, COVID inquiry, it's happening next week. But he's going to insist that his decision saved lives during the pandemic. This is based on media reports. We are giving you this information. In evidence that stretches to more than 200 pages, the former Prime Minister will make a series of key points about his handling of the coronavirus crisis. But the former Prime Minister will argue robustly that his government got many of the big calls right. People close to him say his evidence will follow weeks of heavy criticism of himself at the inquiry. The former US President Donald Trump took aim at the current President Joe Biden, as well as his Republican rivals, at a campaign rally in Iowa on Saturday. Trump said that he got indicted because he was questioning a crooked election. Trump has repeatedly sought to delay the cases against him until after the November 5, 2024 election.
I got indicted 4 times because I'm questioning a crooked election, but we're not questioning it. We know the results. We know it. And when we go through courts, if we ever even have to do it, because you have presidential privilege, and also if we ever, we should never have to do that. But if we do, we want to redo the election only from the standpoint, we want that election, we want to look at it very carefully. We have so much information. There was so much corruption in that election.
Well, North Korea's reconnaissance satellite operation office began its mission as a military intelligence organization. The office, organized at the Pyongyang General Control Center of the National Aerospace Technology Administration, started to discharge its mission on Saturday and will report acquired information to the Reconnaissance Bureau at the Army and other major units. North Korea says it successfully launched its first military spy satellite on November 21, transmitting photos of the White House, the Pentagon, the U.S. military bases and target regions in South Korea. In southern Philippines, 3 people were killed and several wounded when an explosion ripped through a Catholic mass in a university gymnasium. The blast occurred in Marawi, which is a city besieged by militants for 4 or 5 months. That was happening in 2017. The Philippine military said that they had killed 11 militants in the military operation the day before the Maguindanao del Sur province. The university said that it has suspended classes until further notice. The United Nations Security Council has voted to end its political mission of a few hundred people dedicated to ending the civil war in Sudan. 14 of the Council's 15 members adopted a resolution to terminate the mandate of the UN Integrated Transition Assistance Mission in Sudan. As of Sunday, Russia abstained. Here's Lucando's report.
The shutdown of the UN mission follows a request from Sudan's acting foreign minister a month ago. UNITAMS is accused of favoring one of 2 feuding political groups in the country, prompting the request. Established in 2020, its role was to support Sudan's democratic transition following the ouster of the country's former president, Omar al-Bashir. The vote to withdraw the mission comes on the back of an ongoing civil war. UN figures show that over 5,000 lives have already been lost, with over 5 million people displaced. Pending the departure of the mission staff, UN Security Council members have stressed that Sudanese authorities take responsibility for their safety. And despite the mission's closure, a UN country team will continue to oversee the distribution of humanitarian and development aid. Nearly half of Sudan's population, about 25 million people, still require assistance. Isaac Lucando in Dar es Salaam, reporting for DD India.
Let's take a look now at other stories making news around the world. Guinea-Bissau President Umaro Sissoko Embalo informed the media as on Saturday that gunfire and clashes had erupted in the capital of the Western African country. This happened Friday, where an attempted coup had taken place. Clashes between 2 army factions broke out in Bissau on Thursday night and continued on Friday after National Guard soldiers had freed an opposition minister who was detained in a corruption investigation. Colombian authorities seized more than a ton of cocaine off its coast after the country's navy intercepted a smuggler's boat. As per the officials, the smugglers abandoned their vessel on the beach and escaped. A total of 44 packages valued at $35.6 million was recovered. The Hong Kong Disneyland celebrated the start of Christmas with a Disney star-studded live concert. Various characters from Disney shows like Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Belle from the Beauty and the Beast, Elsa from Frozen Enchanted Visitors in front of the Castle of Magical Dreams. Now, the best part was the children singing. Now, back home, India's President Draupadi Murmu attended the annual National Awards for the Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities 2023 at Vigyan Bhavan in the national capital. Now, marking the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, the President conferred prestigious national awards to outstanding persons with disabilities, as well as individuals or organizations for their remarkable contributions towards the upliftment of persons with disabilities. The event was organized by the Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment.
पिछले कुछ वर्षों में दिव्यांगजनों के प्रति समाज के दृष्टिकोण में बदलाव आया है और उनकी उपलब्धियों में सराहनीय वृद्धि हुई है। अनेक चुनौतियों को पार करते हुए उपलब्ध सुविधाओं का समुचित उपयोग करते हुए अपने अदम्य विजय भावना के बल पर भारत के दिव्यांग खिलाड़ियों ने इसी वर्ष एक नया इतिहास रचा है। उन्होंने एशियन पैरा गेम्स में 111 पदक जीतकर भारत की शान बढ़ाई है। मुझे विश्वास है कि समुचित सुविधाओं, अवसरों और सशक्तिकरण के प्रयासों के बल पर हमारे देश में सभी दिव्यांगजनों का जीवन समतापूर्ण और गरिमापूर्ण हो।
Parts of Tamil Nadu continue to witness heavy rainfall in the wake of an alert on the cyclone Mishwang. The Indian Meteorological Department on Sunday upgraded the outlook over the southwest Bay of Bengal. The remaining part of the state might witness thunder showers and lightning. Let's get to the sports news now. And India and Australia are going to battle it out for in the T20 series. The match is being played in Bengaluru today. The men in blue have already won the series 3-1. This is the 5th match. Now, Team India would like to carry forward their winning streak and win decisively against the Australians. Some sort of revenge for that loss in the World Cup final. But the Indians are also going to be touring South Africa for a T20 series beginning on December 10. And with the series already sealed, the Indian management might be looking to improve the bench strength. Also, on the other hand, the relatively inexperienced Australian side will be determined to leave the Indian shores once again on a winning note. I mean, after all, they have already won the World Cup, so there's got nothing much to prove. But if they're losing everything else, may not be such a good way to leave. And let's move on then to our next story. In fact, that's all we have in this bulletin. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.
Sponsored by IE